Dear friends, welcome back to Rudresh Arthopadyaya YouTube channel. And today we are going to deal with reading comprehension classes of your CSAT paper, that is General Studies paper 2. Listen carefully, this class is going to be very unique and very important. But there are few conditions for you people to follow these classes. One condition, the class will be slow. Because this is a passage class, I am not giving you some information and going out. I am making you practically how you can solve passages in the examination conditions with a given limited time period. This is the first condition. And second is you have to watch this video completely till the end. This video may go for 15 minutes, may go for 10 minutes or 20 minutes also. But it is your duty, even it may be 30 minutes. It is your duty to completely watch it. If you completely watch, then only it will be going to help you a lot. Because I am going to tell you some tricks and methods. So that will definitely help you whenever you sit in your examinations in the afternoon, after your lunch. In UPSC's prelims paper 2, you will feel that it is easy to solve the passages, because normally all will be knowing that passages normally every year comes around 30 questions in CSAT paper 2. Normally you get 30 questions. Wait a minute. 30 questions you get. Out of 30 questions, if you attend only 20 questions, still you're making 50 marks. You'll be getting 50 marks, which means that is huge, because you required only 67 to qualify, which means around 66.6 is something is there, but let us take it round figure 67 to qualify. So 50 comes from passages only. I am not telling you all the 30 passages you are attempting. You are attempting around 20. So whenever you start reading a passage, don't read the passage straight away. First, it is your duty to read the question quickly. Read the question quickly and point out and mark out or underline some of the important keywords from the questions. See, this is a question. Consider the following statements. According to the passage, an oil company can make greater profits, which means here I have some keywords. Greater profits, which means oil making companies greater profits, if a transparent formula, which means what they are looking for, transparent formula. Which means if the question is saying oil companies are going to make greater profits using a transparent formula, which means transparent formula is not there at present. The question is asking about transparent formula, which means transparent formula is not there. That is the reason transparent formula, if implemented, it is going to helpful. For petrol pricing is announced every fortnight or month. So oil companies, greater profits, transparent formula, 3 keywords from the first statement. My duty is to find out these words are there in the passage or not. Whatever the underlined words are there, I have to first check these words are there or not. You got it? Next, promoting its scale, undertaking innovation, something called innovation is a keyword. Cutting cost is again a keyword. And selling its equity share is a keyword. My duty is to check whether these statements, these words are there in the passage or not. If the statement is not there, it cannot be the option. Easy, common sense. I will tell you how. So this is the first question. And because the passage carry 2 questions here. This is a previous year UPSC's question passage I have taken out. This is a 2014 year question paper. Second question, according to the passage, private oil companies re-enter the oil producing market if, which means the private oil companies are not there at present, they will re-enter if something happens. So that is the question demanding. If something happens, what is going to happen? Transparent, again transparent, earlier question also it was mentioned, this question is also it has mentioned. Keyword, transparent rule based petrol pricing, okay, which means some strict rules required. There is no government interference, okay, means probably the passage may be talking about government and whether government interference in the market is required or not, something will be there like that. We are just assuming, we have not read the passage yet. We are just marking out the keywords. In the oil producing market, subsidies, very important. Subsidies, again a keyword, are given by the government. Okay. Regulations of antitrust are removed. Okay. So these are the keywords. Antitrust, subsidies, no government, transparency, transparent, and rule based petrol pricing. Okay. So this is the second question. Only 2 questions are there in the passage. After underlining all the keywords, and quickly, you have to do this quickly. Simply just keep your eye contact on those words and start underlining fast like that, and you have to solve these 2 questions. Go through these 2 questions first. After that, you come to the passage and start searching for those words which we have underlined. Getting the point? So let us start reading it, and don't try to understand, okay, what is the passage is talking, what is the rational corollary. Don't do that. We'll do that later. But in this passage, start reading generally, and don't have your own assumptions, own ideas. Don't put your own ideas. Just stick on to what the passage is saying. If passage says government is not good, agree that government is not good. If passage says government is superpower, assume that, okay, government is a superpower. Whatever the passage is saying, stick on to that. And that sticks, you have to follow in the question. I hope you are understanding. It is easy for the government to control. It is easy for the government to control, which means something related to control coming in. State-owned companies through nods and winks, which means with its rules and regulations, state-owned companies can be controlled by the government. Okay. Still, passage is not yet started for us, because there is no point here in the first statement. So what really needs to be done, which means what really what is required needs to be done as the first step is to put petrol pricing on a transparent formula. We have read the keywords in the below questions. Transparent formula was there, which means transparent formula is required for what? Petrol pricing. Transparent formula is required for petrol pricing, meaning at presently transparent formula is not there. That is the reason. So what really needs, that is the reason there is a need to put petrol pricing transparent formula. Done. If the price of crude is X and the exchange rate is Y, here nothing to deal with exchange rate, because in my question, listen carefully, I'm not going to underline this. Why? Exchange rate is not at all in the question. Did we saw anything something like exchange rate in the question? If exchange rate is not there in the question, just to confuse the student, they are using some words here. I will avoid this. If price of crude oil is X and exchange is rate Y, they are not actually, we don't know what exactly they are talking in the future. But at presently in my question, exchange rate is not my keyword. I'm not underlining it. I'm not worrying about it. This statement I'm not worrying. Then every month or fortnight, the government announces a maximum. Who is announcing? Government announces a maximum price of petrol, which means presently government announcing maximum price of petrol. We need a petrol pricing transparency formula, which means presently government announcing, we want something else, some new changes. You got the point? Which anybody can work out from a X and Y. X and Y, that means X means crude oil, Y means exchange rate. Forget about it. It is not at all for our work. The rule has to be worked out. I am telling you, don't try to remember or don't try to understand the passage. Simply read, search for the keywords and go to the question, and we'll finish the question. We will answer the question. The rule has to be worked out to make sure that the oil marketing companies can in general cover their cost, which means oil marketing companies have to cover their costs. That is the reason, there is a need to regulate the petrol pricing, because at presently the petrol pricing is there, which means the oil producing companies are not making enough profits, right? Because they are not covering their cost. That is the reason it will help them to cover their cost. Done. This will mean that if one company can innovate and cut cost, which means this is very important. If one company can innovate and cut cost, it will make greater profits. Greater profits was there in my keyword. When the oil producing companies are going to make profit, when the oil producing companies will do some innovation and cut their cost of production. cut their cost of production. They will cut their cost of production when petrol pricing is got transparent formula. Getting the connectivity? So oil making companies are going to make profits, and they will make profits by cutting cost. Cutting cost will happen when the petrol pricing is regulated through transparent formula, not by the government. Understood? Clearly understood? Hence, firms will be more prone to innovate, which means if this is happens, firms will be, which means oil producing companies will be doing more innovation and be efficient under this system. Okay, done. That is also done. Okay, let us move on. Once the rule is announced, there should be no interference by the government. This is very important. No interference by the government, which means presently government is controlling and companies are expecting for a transparent formula. What is that transparent formula? That formula is no interference by the government. This is the transparent formula. I will write here. Transparent formula is no government interference. If that is done for a while, private companies will re-enter this market, which means we have read about it, re-enter again. Private companies will re-enter into the market, which means they are away from the market now, they will re-enter, and once a sufficient number of them are in the fray, we can remove the rule-based pricing. We can remove the rule-based pricing. Rule-based pricing we can remove. Remove the rule-based pricing. Rule-based pricing is done by whom? At presently by the government. We want to remove this and leave it truly to the market, which means it may be, see, here the meaning is very broad. It is not regulated by the government. The price of the petrol is not regulated by the government, even not regulated by the private people also. It will be decided by the market. What is market? Market by demand and supply. Demand and supply is going to decide it. Subject, of course, the usual regulation of antitrust and other competition laws. Listen carefully, because antitrust word we have seen. Subject to, of course, the usual regulation of antitrust. Usual regulation of antitrust and other competition laws. So, which means the true market or the market is going to decide the prices, real prices of petrol based on few things, that is antitrust and regulations and competition laws. Right? These are all put together is the proper formula. That is the transparent formula. Got it? Anyhow, because in the examination conditions we might not be understood this much, but simply we can go to these words. Okay, need, which means there is a change, new transparent formula, government is presently regulating, we need to cover the cost, which means cost should be covered by the oil producing companies and they can make profit, and there will be a transparent price regulation. This will be overall price regulation of the oil prices, which means market is going to decide. At presently government is deciding. So right formula is required. So keywords and everything we have collected at a time. After collecting, please have a look on the passage. You will be definitely answering the question. If you try, you just try for a minute. You just pause the video now. Stop the video and try and attempting the question. And you just mark which are the statements are correct and wrong. Okay. Consider the following statements. According to, I'm going to solve this question now. According to the passage, an oil company can make greater profits. Oil company can make greater profits if a transparent formula. What is the transparent formula? A regulation, which means no government regulation of petroleum prices. Petrol prices should not be decided by the government. That is the perfect formula. For pricing, petrol pricing is announced every fortnight or month. Details are also there, antitrust, etc., etc. That is not important for us. We will just see this. Promoting its sale. Did we discuss something about sale in the entire statement? Please think. Is promoting sale is going to bring a transparency market? Definitely not. We have not talked about in the passage at all. Sale word itself is not there. In the entire passage, the word sales is not there at all. This is not my statement. One should not be there. One should not be there. Let me eliminate. Why? Because there is no question of sales at all. Why should I bother about sales? Because the problem is government is regulating the prices, and we should want price regulation where there is no government. The price of the commodities will be decided by the demand and supply. This is the overall passage. Promoting sales is going to bring the transparency? No, first statement is wrong. Undertaking innovation, we have underlined innovation here. You remember? Innovate, keyword. Our keyword innovate is here, which means it must be there. Innovation, undertaking innovation will help. Yes, it must be there in my question, sir, because question is demanding which of the above statements are correct. So first one is wrong. Second one must be there because we have to take undertake innovation. Third one, cutting cost. You remember keyword here? Here, their costs and cut costs. Keyword is there. Listen, my friends, wherever in the passage, if this keyword is there, in the statement also, if the same keyword is there, that must be a correct statement. Clue, common sense. Without reading, without understanding, you can just brush up and collect the keywords and you can go to the answer. Rushly, within 2 minutes, you can solve one question. Means one passage. Getting the point? But it will come through practice. It will definitely come through practice. If you want really some more videos like this, if you want me to continue this as a marathon series, I will be completing almost 5 to 6 years of all previous year question papers like this. You comment below and you tell me, sir, you please do this. Then I will definitely continue. Because if encouragement is not coming from you, it will discourage me to do such videos. Getting the point? So cut cost is there. It must be there. Because cutting cost will definitely, bring transparency, a transparent formula in petrol pricing. Yes or no? Fourth statement, you see, 2 and 3 must be there. Okay, let me don't read the fourth statement. 2 and 3 must be there in my answer. In this statement, 2 is there? No. Definitely 2 is not there. Because 2 must be there in my answer. Which means 2 must be there. B, 2 is there. In C, so 2 is not there. Which means I will eliminate C also. I straight away go to B without reading fourth statement. Which means correct statements are 2 and 3. Selling it is a equity share. Arey Baba, where is the question of equity share, man? Where is the question of equity share? Did we discuss about equity, shares, stock market, something in the passage? This keyword is not there at all. My duty is to underline, read the question first, underline the keywords in the question, go to the passage and underline and search whether the keywords are there or not. If that keywords is not there, then it is wrong statement. If that keywords is there, that is a right statement. This is not applicable for all the questions, but wherever the question is asking, whichever are the correct statement, whichever are the wrong statement, there you can easily apply. If some questions are there, they will ask about rational corollary, assumption. I will tell you different tricks to handle, but based on your comment. If you want me to continue such videos, comment below and tell me. You got the answer? What is the answer here? B is the right answer. Option 2 and 3. Okay, that is done. Let us move on to one more question here. Second question. Again, we have underlined a few important keywords, antitrust, subsidies, etc. Let me read the question. According to the passage, private oil companies re-enter the oil producing market when they are going to re-enter the oil producing market, if transparent, because they are looking for transparent rules based pricing only. If a transparent rule based pricing comes, yes, because they are asking in the entire passage transparent rules. What do you mean by transparent rules or transparent formula? That is, no government, price will be decided by the market. That is the main theme. Okay, first statement must be there. If first statement must be there in my answer, dear friends, easy R. B, C, D eliminated yaar. Straight away go to the answer yaar. Option A is the correct answer, 1 and 2, without reading 2, 3, 4 statements. Because rules, transparent rule based petrol pricing is required. That is the argument in the entire passage throughout. Okay, let us not take a chance. I have still 30 seconds more. Let me go through those remaining statements. There is no government interference. Do you remember here? We have underlined there should not be any government interference. Please have a look here. Have a look. No government interference. No interference by the government. I told you, underlining this very important. No interference by the government. You got it? So it is here, which means keyword matching. It must be there in my statement. Subsidies, you tell me, read the passage, go back to the, rewind the video and go back and you see where did we find any word subsidies in the passage? That word is not there at all. Don't read the statement and don't waste your time. Straight away go and mark it wrong, because subsidies we not talked about at all, about subsidies. Right? After solving first statement only we got the answer already. We are checking again with the second. We are checking again with the third. Don't waste your time by reading the fourth. Straight away go to the next passage. You got the point? Fourth one says regulation of antitrust are removed. Regulation of antitrust are removed. We forget about it. Even I don't think about it. Even I don't want any understanding of this. Because it is talking about antitrust. The word is there, but what it is talking about? It is talking about subject to, of course, the usual regulation of antitrust. It is asking for regulation, not to remove it. But the statement saying opposite of it. What statement saying? Regulation of antitrust are removed. It is not asking for remove. Fourth is wrong. So, statements. Correct. It is demanding for correct statement. So only 1 and 2, option A is absolutely the correct statement. Understood, friends? So this is how you will be solving passages. Easy, really easy. Why I'm telling you easy? Because every year in prelims, I used to attempt 30 questions. 29 of the questions used to be right in my case. 29 every year. I will show you the proof. Every year whenever I attend passages in CSAT paper in my preparation, means in my attempt in UPSC, because my first preference was to go through the passage only. I was bad in maths. I straight away go to the passage and solve them. And out of 30 questions, if 30 questions were there, 29 I used to make absolutely correct. One will go wrong. That obvious. I am telling you 29, which is a huge number. I used to do the same tricks, but I used to do it very fast. Since I'm telling you for the classes, I'm telling you slow, because for making you understand. Getting the point? Okay, if you really like this video, please like it and share the video and comment. And what else? Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye. Meet you in the next video.